Well, like I said earlier, President Bola Tinubu will any moment now sign 4 major tax reform bills into law. These bills were passed by the National Assembly after wild consultations with stakeholders and key industry players. Now, the bills includes the Nigeria Tax Bill, the Tax Administration Bill, the Nigerian Revenue Service Bill, and the Joint Revenue Board Bill. The Nigerian Tax Bill aims to harmonize fragmented tax laws and improve the ease of doing business. Now, the Tax Administration Bill will streamline how taxes are managed across all tiers of government. Also, the Revenue Service Bill replaces the current FRS Act with a new one, more efficient National Tax Agency. Lastly, the Joint Revenue Board Bill will also boost cooperation among tax bodies and introduce oversight tools like a tax appeal tribunal. Once signed, the laws are expected to improve transparency, boost investors' confidence, and grow Nigeria's revenue base. Well, joining me to look at this as we wait for this signing is the immediate past president of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. He's an active tax practitioner, a friend of the house, Mr. Samuel Agbeluyi. Good afternoon. It's good to have you on the program this afternoon. He joins us from our Abuja studios.
Good afternoon, Tolu. Good to be here.
Thank you so very much for your time. I think it's going to be a very good one after the much we've waited so very long. Finally, the president is putting pen to paper today with regards to this tax bills after consultation with stakeholders, key players, lawmakers, and all of that. And let me ask you first, how it comes to you, finally, we have gotten to that point where we expect president to put pen to paper. How does it come to a tax professional like you and the past president of the CITN?
Well, thank you very much. This is a good news to me. I am happy that finally this day has come. And I reckon with the fact that it's a very good day for Nigeria, beginning of a new era, when we look at our tax system in the country. So I think everybody should be happy because it's a remarkable movement forward, looking at where we are coming from. This is a major surgery that has been done to the tax laws in Nigeria. And so we are happy, and I'm also eagerly waiting for the president to put a pen to paper so that implementation can commence as specified in those bills soon to become an act of a National Assembly.
I think we should start with the Nigerian Tax Bill, which aims to consolidate Nigeria's fragmented tax laws into a harmonized one. Where were we before this came up? We know we had a series of taxes that businesses had to pay before we came up with this Nigerian Tax Bill that will harmonize what we used to have on ground.
Well, permit me to say we are in a kind of a chaotic situation before this new initiative. We have chaotic in the sense that we have various type of taxes that was not bringing the desired revenue to the purse of the government. We have old, maybe I should use the word archaic laws that is not in tandem with the current reality of Nigeria. So no progressive nation in 2025 should be happy to have that kind of obsolete laws regulating a major aspect of the national life of this country, particularly our economic activities. So it's good that that regime is going to be in our past any moment from now, so that you can look forward and ensure that we do the right thing, the right way, and we move the country forward. You will recall, particularly in the past administration, that's the administration of President Buhari, the major discussion was that revenue was a problem, and it's still a problem as we speak. But I think that dynamics is changing. But with the signing of these bills into law, then we believe that that should bring significant increase. And it should also tidy tax space within the country. So I just say I believe it's a win-win situation for the country, and we should all be actively involved, either as a tax professional, either as an institute. The institute I've served for the past 2 years, that's CITN, or the administrators and everybody within the system, all the stakeholders. We should embrace this soon to become out of National Assembly, so that we can get the desired benefit arising from this bold initiative from the president of this country.
The tax administration bill, which is, I think, the next one on my list here, is to establish a uniform legal and operational framework for tax administration across federal, state, and local governments. Can you help us make more sense of this?
Well, thank you. Before now, I tell you, if you look at the various type of taxes in the country, and how these tax types are being administered, you have a little bit of comfort at the federal level, because there's certainty of what you are supposed to collect, even though some of those laws were also obsolete, and you are so sure of the administration at the federal level. And for the information of our viewers, it is important to mention this at this point, now that we are going to start implementation possibly anytime from now. FRS has done very well, and FRS has not just done very well because it is FRS. FRS gained autonomy under President Obasanjo, and that has helped that government agency greatly. Autonomy in this sense that you have the administrative autonomy, you have the financial autonomy, you can hire and fire, you can determine how you go about it, the kind of personnel you need, and that has helped the administration generally. Some subnationals have done that, but not many of them. And the implication of this is that we can see the difference between the performances of those who have done it and those who have not done it. So those who have not done it cannot wait any longer. Should this be passed, be signed assented to by the president anytime from now, if you want the best out of the initiative, then you need to do the right thing. The input must be good for you to get the output, the desired output.
All right, that's a very good one. Let's move to the Nigeria Revenue Service and Establishment Bill. Now, in my understanding, this repeals the Federal Inland Revenue Service Act and creates a more autonomous and performance-driven national revenue agency. That will be called the Nigerian Revenue Service. That change of name and all of that is also something that many have been talking about. Can you also make more sense of that for us?
Well, if you look at the what do you call it now, the governance structure,
yes,
as proposed under this bill, it has a lot of things to do with how the separation of power, how you the board members of the about to be repealed FRS, and the composition and also the functions as the case may be. That is a kind of moving from where we were to where the president believes that we should be. Now, that is a good one, but my concern, personal concern, is that if you look at the proposal concerning the board of FRS, we pray that competence and professionalism will play major role over politics, because if you bring politicians there, it won't serve the purpose. But if you bring professionals who have made their mark everywhere, and we have them in abundance in the country, if you have them if you populate that board with this set of people, then of course it will also encourage the workers of FRS, because every subordinate looks up to his leader, and once you have a good leader, then you are motivated to do very well. So these are a few points under that structure as proposed by the federal government.
Revenue Board Establishment Bill. That's also something that everyone wants to have more idea of. Talking about formal governance structure to facilitate cooperation between revenue authorities at all levels. What are the positives attached to this particular bill?
Well, the positive is putting, you see, one thing that helps any society is certainty of law. And once you have certainty of law, then you can walk through the practice, you can walk through the administration, you can walk through whatever. The board proposed, at least as one thing that is very critical. Nigeria is a very diverse country, and that diversity, we must always pay attention to it at every point in time. So, as proposed, and as at the last time we saw it at National Assembly, representative from all the geopolitical zone will be there. It's always been there, but it's been made clearer this time around. So, but again, as we have it at the federal, it's also operate at the state, because there's also diversity even in the local government. So once we clearly follow this path as stated in the law, and not just bringing somebody from any of the geopolitical zone, but also bring those people who can, who have the competence. So when they go into the board meeting, when they go into anything they want to do, they look at it from the professional perspective, not pure politics.
Now let's not look at how this directly, for me, would impact our tax to GDP ratio. Before now, we've complained about how low it's been, compared to other African countries, if we stay with them. How soon do we see this helping readdress that moving forward?
Well, I thank you for that question. When President Bola Ahmed Tinubu inaugurated the Presidential Committee that worked on this bill, precisely, I think, 8th of August 2023, he made a comment in the course of that inauguration, and he shows that he has his facts and he knows where he was heading to. Tax to GDP ratio was 10.86 as at that time, and he said he will want that to move quickly to 18% to GDP. And from the information at our disposal, even as at last year, that has moved from 10.86% to 13%. That's a positive development, even without the implementation, even without the coming on board of the tax reform bills. So we can only look forward that with the implementation of this, with the harmonization that has been done, the Nigerian government will get more money. And of course, that is clear, without necessarily increasing rate and without necessarily increasing the number of taxes. If anything, the number of taxes is coming down. So, but with the certainty, because these tax bills soon to become an act of the National Assembly, it's not just about tax collection, because taxation itself is not just revenue collection attempt alone. It also looks at regulating the economies. It also looks at other things and economic tools. So, but once we properly implement the bills, making sure that what is supposed to be done is done, and the devils will not only be in the details, the devils will also be in the implementation, particularly at the subnationals. We need to make this clear to everybody, all the stakeholders. The act will not implement itself just because it's a good act. It will only, the implementation, the right attitude, particularly political will, to the implementation of this soon to become act bill is important, because I'll give you an example. The roles of the non-state actor, those people who are blocking the roads, those who are doing funny things, as encouraged by some local government and even some state, they need to give way, and they will not give way on just by mere point that the president has signed those whatever. There must be political will to make sure that this is done. So we pray that everybody will embrace it and exhibit the right political will to make sure that all the effort that has gone into this is not just in vain.
I'd like to also know the role of tax practitioners in all of this, because they obviously have a key role to play in making this, getting the benefits of this when signed into law.
Well, the Nigerian tax law, either before or the new one, gives taxpayers the right to file their returns on their own. But because taxation is technical, you will agree with me, not every taxpayer can do that. Not in Nigeria, not in US, not everywhere in the world. So because of that, the tax practitioners have a major role to play. And we need to make comment about my institute, that's the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. You are aware, Tolu, that even as these bills were moving from one state to the other, the institute was seriously engaged in the training and the retraining of our members, looking at all the options, looking at all the possibility. Should the bills, should the proposal be ferried this way, what will be your role? Should it go the other way, what will be your role? So this is the time for tax professionals to exhibit all those training. And I tell you, we still have a lot, because it's not just because I am this and I know it. You can't assume knowledge, and what you don't know, you can't give. So the institute is ready to make sure that the members are up to date and do that. And that training is actually not limited to just the tax practitioners. We have also embarked on a lot of trainings. We have embarked on a lot of roadshow. I have led a lot of roadshow task work across the country. There's no geopolitical zone where I have not done that, even for several years in this country, because the people who are paying, they also need to have the information. They need to know the benefit they are going to derive, should they do the right thing. And above all, once they do the right thing, that right thing will also include taking the government to account for whatever is given to them, so that we can have a tax justice, we can have a proper accountability and transparency. It is only by doing that that we can be sure that Nigeria will get the full benefit of all this exercise that has taken a lot of resources from a lot of Nigerians.
Why not taking you back a step, but I just want us to look at, because I followed the back and forth that we also had when before the signing of this and all of that. And one very big issue was around the VAT, so that's value added tax sharing formula and all of that. I see that smile already. So, but where are we with regards to that now? And, because many Nigerians, for now, maybe we would say we don't want an increase around that space. But where are we really with regards to that? I think we got a middle ground at the end of the day.
Well, I will approach that from two angles. There has been no increase by the last point as passed by the two houses at the National Assembly. The current 7.5 has been retained. And so if that is taken, that means there's no increase. But it will interest members of the public, particularly taxpayers, to know that while the rate has been retained, there have been a lot of incentive. And I'm personally happy about this incentive. And we can just say we are about to start VAT administration in the country once these bills are passed into law. Because what we had before now, and up to when at this moment I'm speaking, is at best sales tax, whereby you have a very cumbersome way of getting your input, and VAT is about input and output. So for an industry, for a business entity, whatever those materials or services that form the basis of your production or your service must serve as your input. And at the time you conclude your selling price, you are selling to a third party, then you put that percentage into it. At the end of the day, you need to net your input and output before you can pay the net to the government. So, but those inputs, there have been a lot of increase, which will serve the manufacturer especially a lot of good. I'll give you an example. The capital items that was not claimable before, this time around you can claim it, and so it is no longer wait and get your money through capital allowance. The capital allowance will range from 4 years, 5 years, even 10 years, as the case may be. But this time around, whatever you buy, capital asset you buy into the company, you can claim that the year of purchase. This is a massive incentive. And beyond that, if you have any reason to claim a refund, the refund process has also been streamlined. And to that extent, it means that your capital, your working capital, as the case may be, is not tied in the covers or in the purse of federal government. It's gotten back to you. So once you have that capital, working capital in your own account, then the need to look for loan will reduce. Meaning that the government is this initiative, if you look at it, even from VAT perspective alone, has brought a lot of relief to the company and business entity in this country. And it must be celebrated, because if we talk, we say everything we know about these bills and we are not talking about those benefits, then people may not know. Ordinarily, once you are able to do this, the rush to the bank that is always giving loan at 20-30% will reduce. And of course, the financial health of the company will greatly improve. These are some of the issues. On the other side, that is political, the derivation, the equality and the population, 50, 30, 20, as the case may be. That has been sorted out politically. And when everybody was kind of afraid, because that was almost jeopardizing the progress movement of those work. But we are happy, and this is to also bring a lot of belief in the country. Everything could look like Nigeria is not going to be there tomorrow. Everybody is making his own point. But we have that mechanism whereby at the end of the day we come together and we resolve very tough issues. And this time around, Nigeria has shown that. And to all those players within the stakeholders who played major role in this, kudos to them for, at the end of the day, sitting down together to resolve it. And the way we have resolved this, it only means we can resolve anything positively in favor of the country.
I think it's a good way to live it. But one more question before I let you go. I think Nigerians would also like to hear that. The fact that those earning higher will pay more and those earning below maybe less than ₦1 million in a year would not also be paying taxes. Can you also help us elaborate on that as we wrap this up?
That is basic. That is already in this bill, and I tell you that is the way to go. It's called progressive tax, progressive way of collecting money from people. Those who have been successful within the system, they need to pay back. The country has offered you prosperity, and the wise and the reasonable thing to do is give more than those people who are at the lower rung of the ladder. So it's a good one, and it will also allow the poor to breathe, as noted by the president. It's certain, and that will give even the small-scale industry attention are also paid to them. Those within the threshold of 25 million were not to pay taxes before now. The president increased it to 50 million, and National Assembly increased it to 100 million, meaning that whatever you do in terms of your business, you are still within the threshold of 100 million. You are not going to pay company income tax. You are not going to charge VAT, and that is to allow you to, that moment, to stabilize. And once you stabilize, then of course, you enter into the next phase and you'll be paying the right amount of money you are supposed to pay. The abuse there, I need to advise those companies trying to abuse that process. I can't go into that details. The information is in the hand of FRS. They need to watch it, because the new regime, if it doesn't catch you at the company income tax level, it will catch you at the personal income tax level. So know where to run to. And I must advise, the rate for personal income tax is higher than that of company income tax, all things being equal. So you better do the right thing with your company income tax. If you think you are running to personal income tax, it is not going to be in your best interest.
Mr. Samuel Agbelu is the immediate past president of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, CITN, a renowned tax practitioner. Thank you so very much for really making sense of this topic for us this afternoon. We are still waiting, and very soon I know that would happen, and we'll stay on this, make Nigerians understand all around this tax bills that was waited for years. Thank you so much for your time.